Cremation Pyre is a debut full-length album from Phenocryst. This is a Lisbon, Portugal-based death metal band, and one that is much more distinctly death metal on this debut. They put out an EP a couple of years ago with different members, and really it felt like it was very closely related to what they'd done in Summon previous and Blasphemous Fire. Otherwise, those bands are a little bit connected, and one of the original members certainly contributed to that album in some way because it felt like it was that incantation-esque black and the death metal sound. And the bestial kind of punishment of the drums on that EP were one of its defining factors. But as we step into this full-length album, things have changed just a little bit. So we'll cut over to a track here and get a sense for how the pacing really changes the stature and demeanor of this band in a positive way. So naturally, when a band cuts out some of the sort of slapping bestial death metal sounds and focuses much more on straightforward riffing, it's a little bit bolt thrower, a little bit incantation, and probably early 90s aspects in there, we get a result that is essentially going to funnel down into something closer to Sluggathor. That's sort of where all those things meet up. And while this is a little bit faster paced in some areas, there is more emphasis on dynamic pacing in terms of death doom metal showing up on some of these songs, more so in the later period of it. This album starts out strong out the gate. It's got plenty of riffs on every song. They have a cryptic but still interesting sound. And I think if you're a fan of a band like Crypts, but you want something maybe a little bit closer to Orthodox or something like that, a Spanish death metal band that has a little more immolation in their sound, you'll get a little bit of that on this record. I compared it to Juan Scubble's fronted Asphyx, where they slowed down a little bit on the later records in the late 90s and 2000s, but still have that old school touch to everything. Anyway, what's important here is not just the riffs and the themes here, which are volcanic in nature. It's more the dark and hypnotic feeling that I've gotten from this record. It feels like there are pieces that are fittingly eruptive, and there are others that just sort of ooze out in a very classic death metal way. And the overall showing might not fully grab you with its a huge personality up front in terms of the vocals, but when you sit down with these riffs and really sink into these songs, this is a very solid record. It has a great atmospheric quality to it, but also very classic feeling overall. So this had just generally impressed me quite a bit. I don't have that much to say about it, but I do think this is one of the better releases of August and gets a high recommendation from me. Go ahead and check it out for yourself when it releases, and read my review in the meantime, if you will.